What I've seen in my own life, that the power of God can do all things. Nothing is impossible. And we hook up with the atmosphere. We hook up with what God wants to do, just like Jesus shut down the storm. We can also open the windows. Rain would come just like Elijah.
Window Rock, Arizona is the capital of the Navajo Nation, home of the Code Talkers and Window Rock Christian Church. God gave Ron and Tyda Harvey a vision, alongside their pastor Jerry Tom, that would stretch their faith beyond measure, connect them with Israel, and ultimately bring to life the gathering of tribal nations. Trust in God is making the impossible possible.
We were in Virginia, 2002. I've never had a vision in my life. You know, I've been saved from 1982. And I hear people say, I had a vision, I had a dream, God spoke to me. I had none of those all my saved life. Here we are in this cultural center. We began to pray, and all of a sudden, the only way I could describe it is a kind of like a movie screen came down, and I saw the United States of America. I freak out, you know, because I never had a vision before, and here I'm looking at something that was supernatural. I opened my eyes, and everybody's praying, and I said, Lord, if this is you, bring it back. Closed my eyes, and it came back. In this, I saw right here in the Navajo Nation, a star lit up. And then another star lit up in the middle of the country, Oklahoma maybe, right around that area. And then the other star lit up way up there where we are in the eastern seaboard. And so I'm looking at 3 stars. And all of a sudden the Navajo Nation star took off, collided with the middle star, burst into a bigger star. And that took off and collided with the eastern star. And the moment it collided, I'm telling you, the light shot like lightning all across America, every home, town, village, every city, everywhere it just went. And all of North America, light shot back to where we were like a supersonic speed. And when it came back, the star just took off upward, spiraling up. That was all that was shown to me. I quickly tell everybody that was there, and that was that. 2005, we were asked to go back. Pastor Tom was asked to do a Shabbat. And there's all Messianic Jewish congregation. And they're speaking in tongues, and power God's just moving. After all of that, and we're just tired, after 2 hours, Rabbi Eric says, come into my office. The real reason why I brought you here was because of this. And he pulls out a shofar. He said, I just came back from Israel. A bunch of rabbis came together and said, okay, this shofar has to go to a Native American preacher in the West, that he may start blowing from the West. And so it was given to us. Chief Ann Richardson wanted us to come back to her cultural center to do a 3-night revival. And Chief Ann says, Ron, before you leave, blow the shofar over our land. And so she takes us up on a hill overlooking the Rappahannock River. And I blew the shofar, and 3 blasts means the king is coming. And so I blast 3 blasts of that shofar. After the blast of the shofar, an eagle comes down. It's just hovering, just looking at us, hovering. And then it screams and flies off to the west. I stood almost in the same place that I stood in 2002. And in that place where I stood, and we began to pray, closing our eyes again, the vision came back. And this time a voice came and said, these are not stars as you say they were, but this is the seal of the Lion of Judah. He said, because blood cries from the ground, I am now turned my face to the host people of the land. He says, I will pour into them, and I will empower them, and I will anoint them, and they will move. And he says, get ready, get ready, get ready. And that was it. We came home, and we blast that shofar right here, Window Rock, Arizona. Right here in the back of the church. And the moment we blast the shofar, Pastor Tom had a vision.
I saw a clear tornado coming down from heaven. And I saw in this tornado angels coming down and chariots coming down. And the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, these angels are coming from Jerusalem and also from Israel. These angels were assigned to the shofar that he blew.
Miracles began to happen. All of a sudden, God began to move on my wife, Tyda.
That one afternoon, I saw a vision. And I always refer to all these tribes as pieces of the puzzle. Because to me, like, the more I begin to speak to other pastors, other ministers, apostles from other tribes, they sound the same. They have the same vision, and I believe that God is speaking to all the ministers of every tribe. And they're pieces of the puzzle to where, in this vision, I saw an image of a man. It was a statue, a huge statue, and it was mosaic. It's like you brought all these pieces together and it formed one statue. And I believe that God is bringing us together, the pieces together.
And this is the theme of the Gathering Tribal Nation, is Isaiah 60. Arise, shine, for gross darkness has covered the land, but thy light has come. And so that's what he's telling us. Get up, get up, get up. Move the nations, speak to nations. Speak to various different tribes. Bring them together.
But as I was looking closely, I saw the eyes of this statue open. I began to see the heartbeat upon the chest. And I believe that this day and time, and these last days, that we are like that. The sleeping giant. There's an awakening happening.
God, how? And so he just said, trust me. Just trust me. So the following month, we had a big event here, and she released it, and she said, July 13th, we're going to have the Gathering of Tribal Nations. And everything was released. And it began.
We're not asleep anymore. We have awakened. God is now calling upon us to move forward and step towards our destiny. What is our destiny? To go into evangelism, to stand alongside our brothers and sisters that are our different nationalities.
This vision, it began to roll. So this is what God was doing. The star now is moving. It's released, it's moving.
We are at the threshold of a powerful move of powerful that is to win multitudes to Christ. That is the very foundation of this vision, is winning souls to Christ.
This is not an impossible dream.